Fine hooligans, very exciting news has come upon us. Now, one of my favorite authors, I've posted about it on Instagram a lot, I've talked about them, Lars Kepler. I am a huge fan of this book series, the Joona Linna series. I own every book, I've read them, they're so good. In 2023, it was announced that Tom Hardy and Zazie Beetz would be in a TV adaptation. It was called Lazarus, but it was kind of starting the storyline from Sandman, which I don't mind at all. And it just kind of, that was it. That was all we had until yesterday. Until yesterday, fine folks. We finally got some news about the upcoming show. Let me get this pulled up here so I can actually read from the article. All right, let me get a sip of my pop here. Did you know they brought back Pepsi Blue? So, here's a couple changes. Tom Hardy is no longer attached to play Ulrich Walter, but an equally as good actor is in his place. And I will say, so like Liev Schreiber is in the main role as Joona Linna, sort of. I was picturing more of like an Alexander Skarsgård type character, especially with the events between Sandman and Lazarus. Like you look at him in the Northman and you're just like, oh yeah, like that fits perfectly. But that's okay. So we have Liev Schreiber as Joona. We have Zazie Beetz as Saga. Stephen Graham, one of the most slept on actors, in my opinion, as Ulrich Walter. I don't think he's ever been in a role like this. And like when Tom Hardy was attached to play Ulrich Walter, who is like a very infamous, very haunting character in Joona Linna's life in this series of books, I was super interested. I wanted to see Tom Hardy play him. But Stephen Graham, I don't think has ever done a role like this either. And I am as equally interested to see him in this role. So let's read through. We have a little series or show synopsis here. The Untitled series has been giving a 10-episode order. Okay. So that's the thing I like. When they're like, let's do a season right away. It makes sense to me. Production will begin this summer in Pittsburgh. We're going to get to why that makes sense here, because where the books are, so Lars Kepler is a married couple that writes these together, but I believe they're Norwegian, or Swedish. I don't know. I can't remember now. There's so much going on in my head. But, it makes sense that they're going to, in a way, Americanize this. And before, if anyone's watching this and you're a big fan, they are on the show as executive producers as well. So, you know, they're involved with this. The project tells the story of Joona Linna, an ex-soldier turned homicide detective who, tired of working the tough streets of Philadelphia, moves to a small town in western Pennsylvania for a quiet life. This is different from the books. In the books, his name is Joona Linna. I'll put the spelling on the screen. And he's not American. But it makes sense to, in a way, Americanize this. So instead of Joona Linna, Joona Linna. It's a simpler name for people to remember in some ways. And even though it's spelt like people think it's Joona or Joona, it's pronounced Joona. So they just kind of did that for this series. Putting it in Philadelphia, like this is where he was a cop and everything. He's moving to a smaller town in western, like Pennsylvania or whatever. It puts it in places where people can look at the city of Philadelphia or whatever, and their mind goes, oh, okay, I've seen that. That's Philadelphia, or that reminds me of like Chicago or New York or Toronto. It's a very recognizable kind of like cityscape. You know what I mean? But as the town and his family come under attack from the diabolically cunning serial killer Ulrich Walter, Joona must protect all that he holds dear when the desperate search for Urich's latest missing victim forces Joona to send his adopted daughter, FBI agent Saga Bauer, up against Urich. How far will Joona go? With Saga being part of the FBI, it's again just like the American version of what she kind of does in the books and everything, but Joona's also kind of a part of that team. So I'm kind of interested. Are we still going to have Joona's daughter be a character in this? Are we still going to have Lumi? There's some questions right now. I want to see how it's going to be adapted, what changes are going to be made or whatever. But originally when it was the initial announcement, it was going to be kind of adapting the book Sandman, where it is a very much of almost like a Silence of the Lambs kind of thing. Saga has to infiltrate this facility that Urich is being housed in and kind of like go against him or like try to figure out what's going on. And so these books, you can read them out of order. And if you're going to do that, I recommend doing Sandman, Stalker, and Lazarus first. In my opinion, those three kind of tell a really good starting point. And then you can go back and read the other ones and then read the ones that come after. But those three are really like, they're a perfect like trilogy kind of timeline in a way. But in the book series leading up to Sandman, we get mentions of Urich Walter and like how Joona has like kind of like been haunted by him in some ways. And then Sandman, we finally get to meet him. And it doesn't disappoint. But I'm interested to see how this plays out. Are we going to have the same like MO and method of killing that Urich has? Because it's honestly, it's pretty unique. It's not a body was found in a car and like the killer left a message scrawled on the wall or whatever. It's the way he does it. It's like he casts a spider web that like doesn't just affect this person, but his goal is to basically remove a piece of somebody's like puzzle in their life, and then the ripple effects that come from all of that. It's so good. But honestly, I'm just excited to have some official news. We have a 10 episode order, so we're at least for sure getting the one season. I hope with everything I am and have, we get more seasons, because I've wanted this show since its first announcement. I've wanted this show. Actually, the announcement of like this, the initial one with Zazie Beetz and Tom Hardy is what made me go check out the Lazarus book. Lazarus was the first one that I read, and it was the first book in a long time that made me make sure my doors were locked at night, because wasn't a fan. And even for their new book, Sleepwalker, we finally have a release date for the English translation, which is July 29th of this year. I'm so excited for that. There's a character in Lazarus that like, I refuse to believe his story is over. We only know him as the Beaver, and I think it was it? No, it wasn't Mirror Man. I think it was the Spider. There's a slight little breadcrumb there, but like there's got to be more. You know what I mean? And I think he's gonna play a part in the Sleepwalker book. But we'll see. So let's see if this says anything else, or it's just kind of like listing the people involved. Yeah, it's just kind of talking about the people that are involved with it. So nothing else right now. It's supposed to start production this summer. So we're probably looking at a 2026 release date. I'm so curious, and I'm so interested to see how they're going to adapt this, what changes are going to be made. I'm like, I can't wait to see how Stephen Graham goes about portraying Urich Walter. He is one of my favorite characters in a book that I've read in a long time. Like, if you want a villain or like a boogeyman of your book series, Ulrich Walter is it. It's I could talk about these books for so long, but I'm going to end the video here. We finally have a show announcement. We have the little bit of the cast. Let's go. I'm so excited. So we got the show announcement. We got the English translation of Sleepwalker coming. What else more could you want in the literary world from Lars Kepler, folks? You know what I mean? So, I hope you enjoyed. Leave any comments or whatever if you've read these books, if you're going to check them out. What do you think about the show coming finally? And like, what are your theories, if you have any, you know? So, I don't know, toss them out there. Always remember, you're worthy of love. You're worthy of kindness in this world. We need you here. You are more than enough. Okay? Stay undefeated against those bad days. Every day you thought was going to be the one to break you, you woke up the next day. You made it through that one. So just keep doing that for us, okay? We need you here. Now, all my quiet kids, freaks, and weirdos, for the love of everybody, keep being weird. JuvyThaKid, I love you. Be good.